Hey YouTube, Everyday Man, got another video for you. Today we're looking at the trailer again. This is going to be week 3, I guess, update 3 at least. It's been 2 weeks since I did an update, mainly because all we had done in the week prior was get the deck done. So that's kind of what that is. All we did there was drill we had all the holes drilled, I think, last time. And so all we did was take our construction adhesive Sikflex, this stuff right here, and just go along the whole trailer frame, do that, and then take our pneumatic riveter, this is a pneumatic riveter that we picked up pretty inexpensively to get that done. That's our riveter. It just goes and it pulls the rivets for you. It's so much better than hand riveting. We did that with 3/16 by quarter grip. So that's what we used to do our deck. So that's all we did there. That was pretty simple. And then in that 2 weeks ago, it was not this last week, but 2 weeks before, the week before that, I cut all the I-beams and made them all, glued them all together, riveted them all together. And to do that, we'll go back and I'll show you how I did that basically. So coming back here, I took the bandsaw, which is our bandsaw with the base that we made. Probably do a separate video on that at some point. But this is our table saw that we made, our bandsaw. And so you take one of those, which is aluminum stud material. There's a stud. This is the stud. There's also a track, which I'll show you when we get back over there. But I took that, clamped down my fence at 18. So I have a little piece of wood here that I used as a stop fence, and I just brought it up, stopped it. These two are meshed together, so that's two studs meshed together actually that I cut at the same time. Just took some 3-in-1 because I didn't have any cutting oil. 3-in-1's okay, it worked alright. And drop it down, cut it, and then after I did that, I took it over to our bench and I put this on the bottom and kind of wedge this in. This is a miter box. Wedge this in. Put this a piece like this in the bottom. This isn't the same piece, but I put a piece like this in the bottom so I wouldn't drill into my miter box. And I put this in to take up extra space and clamped it down. You know, put a bunch of clamps on it, all that, and drilled my I-beam holes. There's 4 holes in each I-beam, so one here, one here, one here, one here, basically. And then I took it out, cleaned it, put the Sikflex on, and then riveted them. Those I did rivet it by hand because I was just hanging out in the garage and I didn't want to get my the compressor out, which is up there. It's pretty loud. So I was just working with doors closed as I am today because it's hot outside. So I didn't bother getting the compressor all wound up. Just annoying. It was already loud enough cutting the studs. So that was really loud process, honestly. Anyway, so then we started building sides last weekend. We cut these to length. The sides are just over 9 feet. I think there are like 100. I honestly can't remember. Just like 4 inches. I think they're 4 inches over 9 feet. So those are that way, and the front, it just goes along the front. I think it's 46 inches or something like that. So I cut those, and then we drilled all the holes and put clecos in all the way around. We'll go and we'll show you that basically. This is the track for the stud on top and bottom. This is the track, and like I said, you can see clecos and holes. They kind of go this way, this way, this way, this way. They stagger. And there's holes all the way up the side. And then they have some clecos in them, but not all the clecos right now because I've ran out. And then, like you said, this is the I-beam I was talking about. That's cut to 18, glued together, and riveted together. You can see the rivets right here. And then also all the way down, the stud has holes in it. I think there's like 3 holes in each stud. And so they kind of line up all the way down when I cut them together. If they were meshed the same way, the holes line up. So we I-beam the holes together, and then every other I-beam has a hole. These are going to be tie down points to hook, you know, bungees and ratchet straps in. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's matching ones on that side to match these ones. So it's 1, 2. It's 1, 2. So in this across from each other, and then there's also 2 in the front. 1 there, 1 there. So that's really good. Plus this hook back here, which is our back, which on this beam here is the same in the front and the back in the corner. So that corner, you know, is also the same as this mostly. This is an I-beam in the middle that goes this way. Same in the front, I-beam in the middle, and then another piece is stud this way and another piece this way. So it's like a double I-beam almost, but not quite. It's an I-beam and a box beam kind of. But that makes these corners really, really, really stout. Plus on the back here, we have this support brace, which this is going to help support the weight of the tailgate. The tailgate's going to be barn doors that swing this way, kind of. So that's going to help support the weight of that. So these corners here are really stout. The reason it moves this way is because all of the clecos aren't in down here, basically. But also we have a steel 90-degree beam here. As you can see here, there's a steel corner bracket here. That's going to be where we attach our hinge. The hinge is going to be attached here, and it's going to swing out this way. So there's that. This is all attached to the bottom rail. The rail is not attached to the deck because our trim coil is going to go underneath there. On the front, like I said, it's the same, but I can show you how the two beams how the two rails come together. This one comes on top of this one, and then I rounded the corners because the top is going to be powder coated, and it's going to be our top cap. Our trim is going to be underneath here, and this is going to go on last with black rivets in the top. So that's going to be how that goes. So like I said, I rounded all these edges, filed them down, then we're going to get these powder coated. As you can see, the beam is the same on as the front, but what you can see here is we drilled inside and outside holes. On the side, we just on the top drilled outside holes, so we don't have to reline up the holes once we get the trim in. But you can kind of see this has half the rivets on the bottom, half the clecos, not rivets. They're clecoed, every other cleco basically. So there's going to be double the clecos in the front, plus double the clecos on here. All the clecos I think are in the corner, except maybe one, like right here. But you can see how stout this is. If I grab it here and try to move it this way, no movement. If I try to move it side to side, nothing. If I try to push down on it, nothing. So this is a really stout trailer. 8 inches high, so it's right at our waist. Mine, my dad's at least. Will be different for each person, but for us, who are the ones who normally use it, it's really right at a perfect level to bend over and reach inside. So that's really great. So that's going to be how that works. The other thing we did do, we had a mock-up done of the I-beams and how that was all going to work with top and the trim coil, so I can show you the trim coil. We took a mock-up apart and used the I-beam for actually the trailer, but we took clecos and attached all of it and just to see how it was going to work. And this is trim coil. This is what we're going to be using. As you can see, it's kind of a brown color with some texturing. You can get it in plain, no textured, white, plenty of other colors, a million other colors. This is 24-inch trim that we've been around. This was how we were going to do it. This was going to be the top around the I-beam on the outside, so it's going to like hang. It was going to hang here, and there's going to be a bottom one. But since then, we've kind of decided that it's actually going to be more like this. Except I don't think we're going to have this edge here. I think we're going to cut this edge off completely, and maybe this edge. So we're going to cut some amount off of here. all the way around, and just have this slide under the bottom and rivet it down. So that's kind of the next step that we're going to be doing, is putting this on, get our bend here, cut this, get our bend here, and slide it underneath the bottom, and that's going to go in between the top rail, as I kind of showed you. But that's trim coil, if no one knew what I was talking about. It's aluminum trim coil. That it's just a small roll of aluminum that you can flatten out, and it's, you know, it bends. It doesn't have a whole lot of strength, but once you connect all the side together, it actually does make it fairly strong. So anyway, that's kind of where we are at. So that's our next step, is to wrap it, get the tops powder coated, get these tops powder coated all the way around, and then like I said, while that's getting powder coated, we can get our sides all bent up and together, and then when our top comes back, we just step it on and do some rivets and some stick all the way around. But on the bottom, we can completely attach it, basically, is what we kind of decided. So that's where we are at with that. So then all we have to do is get our tailgate attached and made up. So anyway, our tailgate's going to be diamond plate, by the way, with some studs on the inside to give it a little extra strength, but mostly just the diamond plate, because that's all we really need. That stuff gives us some pretty hard, some pretty stiff. It's a pretty stiff piece of aluminum. The only concern we have is reflection, like you're seeing here. You know, if the headlights come and at night and reflect it, it would be annoying. But we'll deal with that if it becomes a problem. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I think that's it. We'll see you in a week, possibly two, depending on how much we get done. Like I said, this is a Saturday morning, so I'm not sure a whole lot's going to get done this weekend. So it might be till next week, not this week, but next week, until you get another update. But that's what it is. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, y'all be safe out there.